I'm Matt Disney and I'm a Professor of Remote Sensing at University College London in the Department of Geography. So what's remote sensing? It's looking at the world using satellites and ground-based observations remotely. And what I've been doing over the last few years, I've been becoming increasingly interested in how we can use new, highly detailed three-dimensional measurements of trees to understand more about their function, and so relating their structure, the size and shape and volume and mass of the trees to their metabolism and how they respond to climate. So to me, a better green infrastructure looks like a better understanding of how we include trees in everything we do in terms of development. So we know that trees are a good thing in some senses, although it depends on what they are and where they are and how they're looked after and who values them. And so that's one of the things that I see as being really important, is getting a better handle on how we put value on trees. Whether we like it or not, that's what we do. We have to put value on trees. And if you put the wrong value on, you undervalue them, then it's very easy for those trees to disappear or become less a part of that ecosystem, that infrastructure. When you build a new piece of city, when you develop, the trees should be central to that. We know that because of what they can do and the amazing sort of properties that trees have environmentally and health and well-being. So for me, a key part of the sort of green infrastructure thing is how do we put trees right at the centre of it, and how do we value them properly? I think there are lots of reasons why we don't value trees properly in urban ecosystems. Mainly because the urban systems, as I see it, have developed piecemeal in many cases. They haven't been done in a kind of planned way. And so we've ended up where we are, and the green infrastructure, we all value parks and green spaces, but it's often been seen as an afterthought. Isn't this nice to have? Isn't this absolutely central to our fundamental existence in the city? It'd be nice to have parks and trees if we can afford them. And so reframing that debate about, you have to have these things, you have to develop these. If you're going to develop urban areas, and people increasingly living in urban areas as we know, we're going to have to think about how we reconfigure those spaces for the people who are living there, and green space and trees and tree cover are a central part of that. And so I think it's a lot like the kind of road debate. We've developed road networks and transport networks piecemeal, and we've arrived at a position where it's harder to go back and say, if only we could undo some of what we did, because the sort of ideas that we had 20, 30, 40 years ago now are just so outdated and don't work for us at all. But this is what we've done. It's very hard to go back. And so we're at a point now where if we're going to need to think about green infrastructure, we need to think about it right now and how it becomes central to everything we do with cities. So I think how we can modify our whole way of thinking about this, and then our behaviour, is by starting debates on these things. Where I come from the perspective of science, is having better information, having better, more accurate information about what's there already. So lots of decisions that get made, whether they be political or to do with funding and so on, are in the end often based on either very incomplete or incorrect information. The assumptions that are made about the values of infrastructure of all sorts, not just green infrastructure, often seem to be very poorly based in fact. And so I think I see my job as a scientist is about saying, hey look, actually, if we get some of this information about green infrastructure and trees and how they survive and how we value them, if we can make that heard, that there's a lot more value to be attached to things, and there's lots of different ways to look at these pieces of green infrastructure, then maybe the debate starts reflecting that, and that information should get taken into that. Whether it does or not, I don't know. So that involves, I think, also people like me as a scientist working in outside areas where I've been maybe comfortable working with in the past, and working with NGOs and charities and advocacy groups, as well as policymakers and people who have the funds and can raise the funds to spend these things, to tell them, look, we can provide you information that can help you make better decisions. Can you use that? Can it be of use to you?